Good evening, Yellow Jacket Nation. Welcome back to another episode of Catch a Buzz. My name is Ryan King, here with my brother and co-host Sean King. Coming to y'all tonight to talk about the Jackets' big matchup this weekend in Raleigh against NC State at 7:30 night game. Believe I heard that the game is sold out, so it's going to be a tough road environment. I know the Jackets this week have been prepping, blasted noise into Bobby Dodd, trying to get ready for it. It's going to be a great test. NC State has an offense that has the potential to pose problems for the Jackets. They have a very talented running back, and they have a mobile quarterback who also has a talented arm. So that is a combination that has tended to present some issues for the Jackets. So although NC State is on a bit of a downward spiral in their last 5 games, they've lost 4 out of 5, with the only win coming against Campbell. This is certainly not going to be a game where you just walk in there and take over the stadium, unless Tech has really started to turn the corner, and that's the caliber of play that we're going to start to expect going forward from the Jackets, carrying over from Syracuse last week. So before we get into the game, Sean and I wanted to take some time to really contribute to this trend of the last week and a half, where Haynes King has suddenly not only forced himself into the Heisman conversation, he's actually the front runner at the front runner at the top of a lot of people's lists.
So he's still off of some people's lists, which makes no damn sense. I don't know how he can't be in the top 5 in every single in every list out there.
I agree, especially when you have people like Diego Pavia throwing for 100 yards and a pick, and people are putting him at the top of their list.
I think that's his average. I don't think he's thrown above 200 yards all that much this year.
No, it's all personality, and that's the only thing that is preventing Haynes from taking that step if he's just too humble.
He's a cuck.
Yeah. But, Sean, I want you to go ahead and dive in a little bit to this Haynes King for Heisman push that we're trying to contribute to here. I mean, because I don't think it's unwarranted.
Well, I think I know you and I saw the ESPN article that came out. I think it was yesterday, right?
Came out yesterday. If you haven't read it, you need to drop what you're doing and come back to the video and go read it. It is spectacular.
I mean, that changed. Like, I already knew Haynes was tough. Haynes, he's gritty. He just knows how to win. But after reading that, it gave me a whole new perspective on Haynes King. I mean, just the way he was brought up. They hadn't won a high school championship in 80-something years. He comes in, and once his dad finally lets him play, comes and wins the state championship. Dude's just a damn winner, and the only thing holding people back from putting him in contention this year is, 1, his passing yards, 2, his passing touchdowns, but we got to remember he has an entire game less than everybody else because he didn't play against, I think it was Gardner-Webb, when Aaron Philo threw for 4 touchdowns and over 300 yards passing. But you can't just count out a guy because he doesn't have 2,500 to 3,000 passing yards as a quarterback. What Haynes does for this team and how valuable he is at the position, you can't overlook that. You can't. I mean, he is a menace running the ball. His passing the past few weeks has gotten insanely better, and it's not just like his completion percentage is screens and like it was last year, or at least that's how I perceived it last year. I think he had like one of the highest completion percentages last year, and that was just because I felt like we were throwing short passes, hardly threw the deep ball. And these past few games, he has been absolutely dicing defenses up. And I think he He was 25 for 31 last week. I think there were at least 2 drops. And he's throwing the ball down the field more. He's just with his threat on the ground. If Buster can keep dialing up these pass plays, I think it's only going to help his case. He's a winner. He knows how to win in a close game. He wants the fucking ball in his hands, and
quote.
That is a quote. He's the MVP. I mean, and I know that's not the Heisman, but like he is the most valuable player for a team right now in college football.
I agree, and I think that like I feel like I heard somebody say it somewhere at some point in the last week or so, but it's almost like you need to create an MVP award for college football for people like Haynes King, where it's like, there's a chance that the numbers can still get there to where it's like, oh, it's not even just like the story, like the numbers are good enough to justify it, especially if you take into consideration him sitting that Gardner-Webb game out. But you can say that he's not the front runner for the Heisman, but the one thing that you can't say is that he is not the most valuable player to his team in the entire country, because that is what everyone has been saying since the first few weeks of the season, first few games of the season, is that it's like, Georgia Tech looks good, but I don't know what would happen if Haynes King goes down. You've heard that all year long from like national figures around the country, and it's true. I mean, we know that we'd probably still be good because we have Philo behind King, but it wouldn't be the same.
No.
Especially this year. And it goes back to what I said a few weeks ago about Haynes finally seeming like he is legitimately healthy and like having fun. Last year, it seemed like he was out there just forcing himself to play. And we were saying that. I was
that's
saying
that's the guy he is.
Well, yeah. And I mean, he was horribly injured last year. I mean, they're referencing that same article. Shout out to David Hale at ESPN, and I forgot the other guy who co-wrote it with him. But both of them, it was, like I said, you need to go read it. It's amazing. But in that article, they talk about how he, in practice, took a snap from the center and just went to toss it back to him, little overhand toss, and he said he felt his shoulder was going to fall off when he did that. That was right before the Virginia Tech game, which he sat out. But he's the toughest player in the country. He is the most valuable player in the country. And it's reaching a point that, due to Buster making the necessary adjustments to his play calling and his schemes over the course of this season, the numbers might end up getting there before it's all said and done. I mean, if he comes out here against NC State, Boston College, and Pitt and throws for 300 yards a game, all of a sudden it's like, oh, well, now the numbers are also there. And you can make a very, very legitimate case for Haynes King to win the Heisman. And at the bare minimum, he needs to be in New York. He needs to be a finalist because, barring an injury or just a complete collapse from Tech, he's going to lead them to their best season in God knows how long.
Since JT.
Well, it's going to be even better than that, potentially. So it's really just fascinating. And the thing and you referenced Justin Thomas, even people like Justin Thomas, it's like, I don't know that they had the national presence that Haynes King seems to have right now. I mean, you're getting front page articles on the cover of ESPN about his life story. And it's justified because it literally reads like a damn cheesy movie script. Yeah. You can't even believe what you're reading. When you're reading it, it's like his dad's the head football coach. Team hasn't won in 81 years. They're unbelievably hard on Haynes growing up. I mean, unbelievably hard on him. And, his dad had to be forced into benching the starting quarterback for Haynes to come in. And then he comes in and they win the state championship by 1 point in front of 48,000 people. I mean, it was so good that I sent it to my girlfriend who hates football. And I said, you have to read this article about Tech's starting quarterback. It's amazing. Like the story, it doesn't even seem real. But all throughout it, it's all these direct quotes from coaches, former teammates, his parents, him. To me, the best one was literally in the Clemson game this year. JT Byrne fumbled on, what was it, a fourth down? And
Yeah.
Haynes came running over to the sideline, grabbed the headset from Chris Winkie, and yelled at Buster saying, "Put the fucking ball in my hands and we'll win the game." Which it's like in some instances, I can see that being an issue from your quarterback. Like if it was Diego Pavia doing that, that would be a problem.
Correct.
But when it's somebody like Haynes King, where it's like he presents as like the most humble guy ever, but he is the most competitive person you'll ever meet. And it's literally just him going up and saying, "No, we're not going to lose this game. Let me go win the game." And then they won. And it's stories like that that will really help push the narrative to get him there. I mean, you hadn't been seeing it, and like we said, I mean, in the last like week and a half, it seems as if it just came out of nowhere. All of a sudden, everybody is like talking about Haynes King at least being in their top 5, if not at 2 or 1.
Well, you had talked about it right after the Syracuse game, saying there might be able to
Yep.
be a case, and I
Yep.
think literally
I
that
was
next
literally.
week that's when it all started to come out, and everyone started talking about it, and really became a hot commodity.
Well, exactly. I was at a wedding last weekend, and I was just I was in the wedding, so I was up in the house with the other groomsmen, and we had the game on, and I just immediately texted Sean after the game when he was getting ready to make his instant reaction. One of the things I said, I was just like, "Haynes King Heisman game." Like, eh, all you had to do was watch. It was like, I mean, this guy just absolutely dominated.
It
And you
really
didn't even have to
was.
look at the stats to know.
He had some insane plays in that game, but like just obviously him being dual threat, his efficiency, he's not turning the ball over. Like especially back in 23 when he did pass for 20 plus 2,500 plus yards and uh, all his touchdowns. He still had 16 interceptions.
Yeah, he led the nation in interceptions that year.
Yeah, and that's just drastically gone down. He always plays well in the big game. I mean,
Yep.
Miami, the little he did play, he played great. Last year against Georgia was maybe his best game ever. It just seems like every single big game he comes to play, and
He always rises to the occasion.
that's exactly what we need, especially coming down the stretch. I mean, I'm not worried for this game coming up, although we always usually seem to play him close. But it's also not just the big games. I mean, like you said, he's one of the most competitive people you'll ever meet, and just the fact of what he's been able, him and Key, what both of them, but I mean, he's the one on the field. What he's been able to do to Tech in our program, literally lifting us up out of the gutter. I don't really know many other people who could have done what he's done at Georgia Tech. Yeah, it's just like when he's in the game, the defense has to account for everything, and I know that's kind of like a dual threat, just given, but the pass, the run, the scrambling, it's just and just the way he does it is rare. It really is. Like it's you just got to watch the kid play. You got to turn on the tape or come watch us at 7:30 on ESPN2 this weekend and see what he's about.
I completely agree, and it's like it's also something you mentioned it right there towards the end where he literally him and Key dragged this program out of from just being the basement dwellers of college football under Collins. I
Yep.
mean, like those two almost obviously not single-handedly, it's football, but like they are the two leaders of the team. And I don't if Haynes King didn't transfer here, Tech would never be in this position right now.
I don't think
It,
so.
it, it is going to go down depending on the trajectory of Tech and how the next, say, like the next decade plays out. Depending on how it goes for Tech, it's going to be one of those. He is going to have like a 30 for 30 or something made about him, or some sort of documentary, because he is going to be so influential on this program. I don't know if maybe Key is the one that was saying it, but I mean, it is true. The way that Key always talks about Haynes, I always thought it was like kind of cheesy. And like, the coach is just like saying this about his quarterback. But you go and read that article from yesterday and just like watch the kid play football, and it's like, oh no, he's actually like this. Like, I understand why Key holds him in such high regard and talks about him the way that he does. It's like, he is actually just different. Like, he's been through a ton. I mean, even though it doesn't seem to have negatively affected him like the way he grew up. But I mean, his parents were very hard on him. And then you get to A&M, you're a highly touted recruit. Probably just wasn't a good fit in the first place, but then you're also suffering from injuries throughout your entire career there. And you're basically just a bust at that point. I mean, I can't remember exactly what I was thinking going into the 23 season, but I don't think I was like ecstatic that we had gotten Haynes King.
Yeah, no. There was a quarterback battle.
Yeah,
I
between him
remember
and
during the spring game.
Right. We had no idea who was going to start until like a week before the Louisville game, I don't think. And so, I mean, there was zero expectation that things would ever play out like this. And
he got hungry. He got fucking hungry.
He did. And I know Key talks about him playing in the NFL for a long time. I don't know if that'll be the case, but I think if you get him into the right scheme and he stays healthy, he could 100% at the minimum have like a Taysom Hill type career.
Yeah.
Where he at least plays, 5 to 8 years and he's effective and he's mostly a backup, but you're still throwing him in there to just throw the defense off. I could totally see him having a career like that. But yeah, I'll leave it there. I mean, Sean and I are 100% on board the Haynes King Heisman train, not just because we're Tech fans, but because I legitimately think he is deserving of that trophy and that recognition and not even just because of this season, but just what he has done over his entire college career. I know that doesn't play into the voting, but like, there is no person that deserves it more than him. And I hope that he at least gets the opportunity to go up to New York and represent Tech on that stage.
He at least needs to be a finalist. Like I don't want to understand it, but like I'll understand it if, Mendoza or Simpson win it and they go undefeated too. And yes, they do have tougher competition than we do. But man, am I glad Haynes King is on my team. That man is fun to watch. It's insane. We're only going to get to see him for another 6 games, 7 games, 8 games.
Yeah. What will it be? I think it's only. Yeah, unfortunately, it's only going to be 7 games. I think.
Oh, that's it. Shit.
Yeah, it's only going to be 7 more games till 15-0. Unfortunately.
Damn. Really?
But yeah, at least it'll be about 7 games.
We will get to see him against Pitt at home for the last home game of Bobby Dodd.
We will.
Maybe the last home game of Bobby Dodd.
Can we talk about that real quick? How insane would it be if Tech goes and beats Pitt? That would be 2 seasons in a row. We will not have lost at home in 2 seasons.
Yeah, it's insane.
That is fucking insane. I just thought about that. That
Unfortunately,
is insane stat. And we didn't even have the fan support really last year, except for the Miami game. The Miami game was awesome.
We read that one. That was fantastic. Yeah. First ever field rush.
Second for me, but yeah. It'll be the one I remember the most and the most fondly.
Yeah. Haynes King for Heisman. I mean,
yeah. Haynes King for Heisman. We'll throw a fucking hashtag in the comments or something. I don't know. But with that being said, I do want to move on to NC State because we are now playing November football, and we're playing November football that actually means something, which is pretty damn cool. And it doesn't mean something in the sense that we're trying to make a bowl. Thankfully, we already made a bowl back in the middle of October, so it's quite a different situation that we find ourselves in now. But it's incredibly exciting, and you know, I'm just gonna say it. I know that last week we came on and we were talking about how it's one of the first times I've just not been worried about a game. Well, they came out last Saturday and gave me a reason to continue to feel that way going forward when we play inferior opponents. Because we stomped Syracuse into the dirt on Saturday.
Oh yeah, I mean we easily should have beat them by 50. We at least should have had 50 points. That's for damn sure.
Oh, minimum. Yeah. But yeah, it is. I don't know. I mean, I started out the show talking about how the matchup could present some issues for Tech, at least defensively, based off of what NC State does on offense. But here's the thing: they're horrific defensively. They just gave up 53 to Pitt in their last 5 games. We'll say last 4 games, excluding the Campbell game. They gave up 53, 36, 23 in a loss to Virginia Tech, and 45. Their defense is awful, and I don't think that their defense is. I think that if NC State was going to have a chance in this game, they needed to play Tech in week 2 or 3. I think that at this stage in the season, Tech seems to just be finding their stride. Buster Faulkner discovered that play action works, and the rest of the country needs to look out now that realization has been made.
I 100% agree. And look, last week I said, or last week we were a little critical. But I mean, for good reason. I had to see more out of Buster, and he might have called his best game since he's been at Georgia Tech. That might be a stretch, but like at least this year and the way that we've been running the offense, I think he took a massive step forward. Utilized the tight ends a lot. Burns should have had 4 touchdowns. I think he used Haynes very well. I think Hosley had a great game. It wasn't all Haynes King on the ground. I think a lot of Haynes' yards came off scrambling. They weren't really designed runs. And, man, dude, when you can get Haynes King to make the defense think and you actually start taking some shots, this offense is absolutely lethal. I mean, it's nutty. Is what it is, and yeah, I was so impressed from Buster, man.
Yeah, I think it's starting to reach a point, and I told Sean that I'm just reserving a tiny bit of judgment to see if we can repeat what we did last weekend this weekend.
That's what I'm saying. You can't go backwards now.
Right, and it's not that I'm worried about winning the game necessarily. I just don't want to win the game by 8 points again. I want to go out, and I said to Sean, I was like, we need to go out and win by 17 at least again. Because this team, sorry to the Wolfpack fans, they suck. They suck.
Especially if Pitt just put up 53 points. Now I know Holstein's playing fantastic, and
yep.
I'm getting more worried by the week, but we got the same offense, if not better offense than Pitt. There's no reason. I mean, now 53 is a lot of damn points, and we haven't been the best at getting takeaways. And I didn't watch the game, but I'm assuming that's how, they score that many on an ACC opponent. It's Pitt. So, but yeah, I mean, 53, you better come out. You better come out and dial something up. There's no reason you should not be able to run up and down the field. Now, you better come out and start hot and go down like you did against Virginia Tech and put some points on the board.
Yeah, 100%. And I think that we are, as we've been alluding to, I mean, if Buster continues to, I guess I would say open the playbook. Like, it's not like he's just creating these plays from week to week. I mean, it feels like the playbook is being opened, and it's incredibly effective. I mean, like you said, Sean, I mean, when Haynes just has to make the defense think, they do not have a chance in hell. They don't have a chance. I mean,
No.
when they have to focus so much on just a little option play, is he going to pitch it or is he going to keep it? And then you just got tight ends running drags across the field wide open. You've got Canyon downfield. You got Stockton. You got Rutherford. You got Rivers. You got Patterson. You are stacked. You're absolutely stacked. And we're finally taking advantage of it. And one of the most exciting parts to me was that everybody ate against Syracuse, man. Your leading receiver was Jordan Allen. He had like 67 yards, and Haynes threw for 303.
He's going to be
I mean, the ball's just getting spread around. What that tells me is that he's making good reads. I mean, he's just finding the open guy and hitting him. And obviously not every defense is going to be as poor as Syracuse's was, but NC State's doesn't seem much better.
No, it doesn't.
Based off of how they're playing. So, I mean, I see no reason that you can't come out here. And my only concern, I don't want us to see that their offense like has explosive potential and be like, oh, well, let's try to slow the game down. I don't want to do that because your defense back-to-back weeks, even if they've gotten burned, have made goal line stands. So I'm not worried about the pace being faster if it means you're just going to pile points on the board because our defense is going to get stops.
And look, I mean,
Our
last
defense
year
continues to improve. We've been so focused on the offense, but our defense has continued to improve as the season has progressed.
Last year, I mean, even last year, we got some takeaways from them. I mean, I can remember a pick near the end of the half. We had the pick six to go up 7-0 to start the game. So, yeah, I mean, yeah, like you said, the defense has continued to improve, especially even last week. Toby, who has just been chasing tails the entire year, actually turned around and made a play on the ball. So that was fantastic to see. A couple other notables. I know we got a Kilo coming back this week,
That's big.
which would be is massive on the interior. I think Jai Gilmore's still out. What will be fun to see is Mr. Chad Alexander is now back in the lineup. So
we
are a full go at running back.
I missed that.
So, yeah, I mean, that's only going to add another threat in the backfield, which seems like we've needed the past few weeks. I mean, Hovesley's been playing fucking great, but Haynes still rushing the ball, has been I think he's still our leading rusher, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
So, yeah, that's massive. I think there's a few other defensive guys still out. I think I did hear Key say Dalen Penson is very close to playing some football. So that's good signs. And I think Amari's only out for another week, he said, especially after this week because we got the bye. And I think against BC, he should be in. I mean, I don't think we'll really need him against BC. We might save him for Pitt, but it sounds like we'll definitely have him for Pitt and Georgia at the end of the year. But, yeah, as far as NC State, their defense is trash. Now, I think it's injury-riddled, but who cares? Who cares? This is the time of the year when you need to go and just put ass to grass.
I completely agree.
There's just absolutely no reason we shouldn't. And like you said, I mean, we're in a key. It sounds like coach speak, but like, we keep progressing every week. Like it does seem like we are getting better every week, especially on the defensive side of the ball. And if Buster can keep what he did last week or even one up, we are a serious problem.
I couldn't agree more, man. And it's like, yeah, it's funny because this is the time of year where you're expecting to just really be battered by injuries. You're expecting to be having to dig into your depth, and it's like it almost feels like we kind of got that out of the way, and now we're starting to get pieces back. Like we started to make this progression and make this jump to the next level without some of our key pieces like a Kilo, and without having Chad in the backfield, and there's a lot of guys, and Amari has been out the last couple of weeks, and I didn't even hear that he was progressing so well and that he's going to be back so soon.
Yeah,
So
no, he said that the week after that, they were very lucky that it was what it was. And the past couple of weeks, he's been saying how fast he's been progressing. And this week, he said a week. So,
okay, yeah, I listened to his press conference today, but I was working and it was just on in the background, so I must have missed that. But yeah, that's amazing news. Also, I did catch the part about Dalen Penson that Key was saying today because
yeah,
I've thought very highly of Dalen since we started recruiting
we've
him.
been wondering where the hell he's been this year. I mean, I know he's a freshman.
We've constantly been talking about him when we've been having guys go down. We're like, where's Penson at? So it's great to hear that he's progressing the way he is. And then Tay Harris is already on his way to being an All-American. I mean, he's going to be an All-American in the next couple of years.
And it's weird though, because when I've been watching the games, I haven't really heard his name, but like I look at the box score and he's been playing and has a few tackles and just kind of doing his thing. But I mean, it is a good thing you're not hearing his name because he's not getting beat really.
Exactly, it's the best compliment that you can give a DB.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. I mean, I'm very confident going into this game after last week. Like I said, I just have the tiniest bit of reservation just because I want to see us repeat a dominant performance like that. I don't have any reservations about us winning this game, if I'm being honest. It's really just about how we go about it. Because I so badly, like, not just for myself, but for the national perception. You have the playoff rankings coming out, the week after this weekend?
Yeah, I think next Tuesday.
I think it's this coming Tuesday. So, I mean, this is the week of all weeks where it's like you need to have back-to-back games that you just stomp these shittier ACC teams into the dirt. You have got to. And I believe that we are going to do that. And it'll have even more impacts because it's a sold-out road night game.
Yep.
And regardless of the quality of the opponent, I mean, it's still an ACC team on the road at night in a hostile atmosphere, which I don't think we've even played in since Colorado.
Does NC State really pack out?
I think they do. I think it's one of those places kind of like Virginia Tech where, you always talk about how great the crowds are, and it's like, yeah, because there's nothing to fucking do there. Of course.
Yeah, but we always talk about how great NC State's going to be every year, and they're straight doo-doo.
Yeah, well, this year especially. And they're always the dark horse to win the ACC,
yeah.
And then they go like 8-4 and underwhelmed. But
like he says, he doesn't believe in momentum. Which here it's almost kind of like reverse. Like we're 8-0, we're riding high. They've just lost 4 out of 5. I feel like they're going to have that extra kick this week, especially when you're playing the number 8 team in the nation.
Right.
Yeah, just like he says, they're going to give you their all this week, just like every team from here on out is. So, and just from what this team, I can't even say that because every time we've been on the damn road, we can't score for our first 3 or 4 possessions of the fucking game.
Yeah.
So hopefully that changes this week. I know Key was asked about it again in his presser, and he's just kind of making jokes about it. And it's like, it's a real thing, dude. It's a and
I don't want him to be so jokey.
And I know what really can you do? I mean, it's just, is it just a weird coincidence? Is it something pregame that we're doing? Like what really could it be?
Well,
that causes our slow start.
Well, I think that what it is that, at least from watching it, is that it's a lack of creativity in the play calling. I think it's on Buster, personally,
Granted,
because
though, the past few road games we've been on, they have had bye weeks.
that's also true. But yeah, you have seen, especially in the Syracuse game, man. I mean, the play action with Haynes it is lethal, and you just need to come out with that. Don't come out running QB draws with Haynes straight up the gut when that's all they're waiting on. They're waiting to blow that up at the start of the game. Like, you need to come out more aggressive at the starts of games and build the lead, and then Haynes will be able to run all day.
Yeah, no,
Once
I
you
agree.
like, if you come out and get that opening touchdown, that's really all you need. I mean, if you come out and get that opening touchdown, it fires everybody up. Especially if your defense gets a stop, then it's like, if we come out on Saturday, if we get the ball first, score a touchdown, and the defense gets a stop, I think the game's already over.
I agree. I
Like,
agree.
I think you'll run away with it after that, because your confidence, completely contradictory to what you were saying about Key's thoughts on momentum. I do believe in momentum personally,
Yeah.
and I think that you see that, and it's like, all of a sudden your confidence is just through the roof, and then you don't give a shit about the crowd being loud. You're like, okay, let's go blow their doors off, and typically you do, and unless you have some like self-inflicted mistakes and whatnot, but. Um, Yeah, I don't know, man. Do you want to dig into it anymore, or do you just kind of want to dive into our predictions?
Um, Not really. I mean, I'm just not worried about the game, man. And like,
Yeah.
it confuses me how we're only, I guess it's on the road, how we're only 5.5 point favorites.
So make it 8.5 if it's
Eight and a
neutral site.
half neutral site. Yeah, man, it's just like it's just again, it's all my thoughts and dreams are with Buster. I mean, if he can call a good game, I'm not worried about it. And like you said, if you go down the field and score an opening touchdown, it's game over. Um, just open the field up. Just open the field up. That's
Yep.
all. That's all I want to see again. Use everybody. Don't just
Yep.
use three of your players like we have sometimes this year on opening drives. And it's not like opening drives. A lot of them we've been moving the ball, and when we've turned it over, or someone
Right.
drops a pass, or just execution wise, um, you know, we don't convert. So yeah, and look, go out, whip ass, and I'm just not worried. I'm not worried. Yeah,
I feel the same way, and when we say go out and open it up, that does not mean tunnel screens, Buster.
no,
That means throwing it downfield to your tight ends, hitting Canyon on deep balls,
dude.
taking a deep shot to Rivers on, like, you can. I guess the part that I don't understand is, on 1st and 10, take a fucking deep shot to Rivers.
Yep.
And if it doesn't work, then, try to scheme up something a little creative in the run game to get something back and make third down more
But
manageable.
he was so
Don't do it on 1st down, get blown up, and then do it on 2nd down.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Do it on 1st down, because then if it doesn't convert on 2nd, you're at 3rd and 10. Don't do that. Do it on 1st down, and then you have wiggle room, and it doesn't have to stall the drive out.
And
So,
I think he did that perfectly last week with the motion, with the eye
yep.
candy, hitting your tight ends, making them get lost in the scheme. I thought it was. I can't give him his flowers enough because I've
No.
shadowed him all year long. Um, and yeah, I just want to give him his flowers because if I keep on seeing that, there's no reason I'm going to come in here and be negative. Um, but yeah, that's about all I got for them. We can go ahead and do our predictions.
Yeah, we can go ahead and dive into predictions. I completely agree about Buster. It was a masterclass. Right? We're only going to talk shit about Buster if he deserves it. So, same goes for everybody else. But yeah, as we said throughout the course of the video, I am not really worried about this game, and I am going to try to speak it into existence, as we did last week, that Tech is starting.
I think I was very close to another spot on prediction last week.
No, I think I was closer because I predicted 42-10, and they
I
got the garbage
I
time
thought I
touchdown.
said 38-17 or something.
Oh, sure, you did. Yeah, we were both close.
Yeah, yeah,
Our
we
predictions were
were.
close. Um, but but yeah, so I am not worried about it, and I actually do believe that after that Syracuse game, I think that Tech has started to kind of turn a corner. You know, we were talking about how you learned how to win already. Now you need to learn how to dominate. I think that Syracuse game is going to go a long way. Specifically, the last three quarters of that Syracuse game are going to go a long way into like realizing that, and we're going to find out on Saturday if that's the case or if we might struggle a bit and kind of slip back down to where we were before. I'm praying that's not going to happen, and I don't believe that's going to happen. Tech is going to dominate offensively. I think the defense. The main thing we didn't really touch on it, but C.J. Bailey has 7 interceptions this year. If you get one, especially if you get 2 picks, they will have no shot to win this game.
No,
Uh,
they have to play a
so
perfect game.
yeah, that's perfectly said. I mean, they basically have to play a perfect game to beat us.
Or we help them out and turn it over and make stupid
Correct,
mistakes.
or it's the self-inflicted wounds. So I think Tech will dominate offensively. I think that the defense is going to continue playing at a high level as they have over the last few weeks, and I think they're going to continue to improve. I mean, they're getting pieces back as opposed to losing pieces. And with that being said, and our special teams are also amazing. Shout out to Aiden Burr. Shout out to Marshall Nichols.
Haven't had a problem with them all year. I don't think we've ever talked about them, and that's a very good
Nope.
thing.
Yep. Same as the DBs. It's a compliment if we don't talk about you guys. So, what do I want to go? I'll say, I mean, because I think NC State will put up some points. I will go 42-17 Jackets.
I was thinking close to there. Okay, I like it.
We could have the same prediction. It doesn't have to be different.
No, it ain't gonna be 42-7. I was thinking more like, I'll get to it.
Yeah.
I think we are going to struggle with CJ a little bit, at least just containing him in the run game. I know we struggled last year with him. I know he had 1 or 2 touchdowns on the ground. And I just feel like we're not the best against dual threat quarterbacks, which always scares me in a game. But I think Syracuse's quarterback had a decent game on the ground because that's what they had to resort to. But again, I'm not really worried about the defense. I think we're gonna be able to find the ball a few times. And if NC State turns it over once in this game, the game's over. The game's over, and I think we're going to take the ball away a couple times. I think Buster's going to have a great game. I don't know if it'll be as good as last week, but I think he's going to continue to utilize every piece of our offense. I don't know why he would, unless things just drastically go wrong, and we have to flip mid-game, and we're in desperation and just have to go win the game. But I think we'll just be able to play around with this injury-riddled NC State defense and continue on to 9-0 and probably be left off the committee's playoff rankings next Tuesday somehow, some way. Give me your Jackets. 45-21.
I like it.
45-21 Jackets.
Hell yeah. Well,
There's just no way. There's no way we regress here, man.
that's how I feel. I think that Tech, as I said, I think that they have started to really turn a corner here. And I'm hoping that they prove me correct when I say that with their performance on Saturday. And there's only one way to find out. And we'll be watching together. So, and yeah, guys, we might live stream the game. Sean and I should be watching the game together. So Tune into that.
They're always eventful. I promise. I promise they're always eventful.
They're always eventful. You might have a panic attack watching the game with us because we're the most I can't think of the word, but just like terrified fans of all time. But we live streamed the Georgia game last year and the NC State game last year, so we one of them ended well. But anyways, also side note, my microphone arrived back at the house today, so we are both going to have elevated our game at this point. I'm in a hotel tonight, so I can't do it, but
Ryan's actually using his back camera, so give him a round of applause. He did a great job tonight.
I can't even see Sean. It's very strange, but hopefully the quality will be better than our last couple where I was.
Well, you look like shit on mine.
Laptop microphone as a microphone. Yeah, we'll find out. You guys let us know, and just in the comments, let us know what you guys think about the game this week. Let us know if you think our Jackets are going to be going to 9-0, or if you've got any concerns that maybe we didn't address, and just your overall thoughts on the state of the program. Really, maybe that's a video Sean and I will do, just kind of talking about how far the program has come over the last few years and where we see the trajectory going. That might be something interesting we can do, like on the bye week or something.
Oh yeah, so, let us know. Let us know just also what y'all would like to see. I know we've got a few more subs coming in. We appreciate the support. And yeah, I mean we're going to try to start expanding our platform. Just maybe a couple more videos a week. A few more topics rather than just a pregame show. I think the instant reactions have been doing pretty well, so we'll continue with that, at least one of us each week. But yeah, man, let us know in the comments. We appreciate the support.
Absolutely. That's all I got, man. Go Jackets. To hell with Georgia.
Go Jackets. 9-0, baby. Come on.
Ooh, ooh. Or buzz.
I don't think that was it was close. It was close.
It was almost a mark.
Go Jackets.
Go Jackets.